She's joined us in the past to talk about the art of resiliency, and today author Neerja Bhatia is with us again talking about her book, Bliss is in Knowing the Self, and some of the vital tenets between its covers. And the title itself just seems to be, you know, truth in labeling. That just makes so much sense. And one thing I've noticed and appreciated about your work, Neerja, is that we're not talking about intimidatingly long books with a lot of wordy stuff. They just kind of tap into our natural ability to understand. Now, it seems to me, is there a theme there that when you're writing that you want to keep this fairly simple? I mean, there's important and very deep things to talk about, but you keep it very simple and you make it easy to understand.
My goal is to make it very pragmatic, because there's a lot of theories out there, but theories don't really make it. They don't really cut it for us. What we want is something we can apply on a daily basis. So when challenge comes, how do we deal with it? What do we learn from it? How do we think about it? How do we deal with it? Those are the few things that, it's the theme throughout my books and my writing. Understanding, just being human.
And when we feel overwhelmed, that's the last moment that we need more complication or too much to think about, isn't it?
That's true.
Just go to what's simple and sort of come back to what's within. Now, in this book, you talk about turning pain and sorrow into joy-filled living. That almost sounds contradictory. How do you do that?
Well, first of all, understand that whenever we are experiencing pain, the pain has occurred because of our own projections of what we believe to be true. So if you look at it, there are two forces driving us. One is the external goals, how we see success, and the other is it's invisible. It's our internal core values that we may or may not be aware of, our internal beliefs that could be limiting or, you know, great beliefs. There could be our fears, our doubts. So self-knowledge, understanding yourself, really gets you in touch with what are these fears, and most of them are not even true.
Isn't that something?
Yes, it is. So when you're experiencing pain, you're experiencing it because you are seeing it from those fears, those eyes of fear. Illusion,
perhaps.
Exactly.
Now, I noticed you used the word self. In the book, you also talk about the word ego. Is ego sort of that other side, the more illusion stuff that's going on?
So self and ego are...
Because they're often used sort of interchangeably.
They are. Exactly.
But here it seems like you use them sort of opposite each other.
I do, because it's this opposite side of the same coin.
Okay.
And ego is not really our enemy. It's there to protect us in a way.
Okay.
So it'll help me from not looking like a fool here today.
You're doing fine. You're the one who shouldn't worry about that.
Right,
okay,
right.
yeah.
So ego, what it does is it'll start to make me nervous, for instance, right? So I'm more prepared. So it's really just that's all its job is, to protect me. And it also limits me if I'm not able to understand, wait a minute, you know what, it's not true. Just because of my past experience and where I've been and what I understand about myself doesn't mean I can push the envelope and stretch and move beyond.
So the future isn't predicated by what we've experienced in the past, it sounds like. Is that another way of putting it, maybe?
Yes, not at all.
Okay, now I noticed that you tap into the wisdom of Einstein and Maslow and others, including your own self-cultivated, shall we say, enlightenment. Any particular reason why? I noticed that Einstein is mentioned several times, and Abraham Maslow as well.
Well, Einstein's my idol.
Is that right?
And he knew how to slip into that presence, into that bliss. And that's where he got a lot of his knowledge and understanding. To me, when I'm in that moment, I feel expansive, and I write poetry, which I didn't even know I'm capable of. So when you're in that zone, you tap into your genius. You become productive, you become amazing, you really tap into, and you are all filled with love, compassion, connection, wisdom, and power. You experience it in such a big way that you don't when you are into that place of fear and ego.
Okay, now even if somebody's just picking up the book or for the first time, or just watching and doesn't have it yet, what's a first step that people can take today, right now?
Well, the very first thing you need to do is reflect. Take the time to reflect and spend the time with yourself. You're the most important person. So when you're experiencing challenges, to have a support system, people who you can talk to about your deepest thoughts and beliefs, and know that you won't be judged. Because in all honesty, everybody goes through that. Some of us admit it, and some don't. We put on a mask. And to not label yourself as you are only this. I'm a woman, and I'm, you know, I was born here.
Just within a certain
yes,
framework,
you know,
right?
this is my title. So take those labels, peel those labels, and see who you really are. And without that understanding and sitting and reflecting and knowing the self, you won't be able to stretch the envelope and tap into your genius.
Neerja, I honestly could talk with you all day about this, on or off camera, but I'll tell you what, I just need to ask you too, how do people get a copy of your book?
They can go to my website, rhythmofsuccess.com,
Okay.
or it's also available on Amazon.
Oh, okay, that easy. And if you forget that website, just in case you didn't get that down quickly, you know ours by heart, WTNH.com, very simple. And go to On Air and click down to Good Morning Connecticut Weekend.